In our Small YouTubers Boost Facebook group, which you can find at facebook.com/groups/smallYoutubersBoost, we've got a question for someone trying to do this on their own. Should I be in all social media platforms, or should I just focus on a couple? And if so, which ones? As a creator, regardless of your size, you should have a presence on as many social media platforms as possible. But listen to the end, there's a big caveat coming here. The reason that I say this is because if you do blow up very quickly, or even slowly, but more so in this quick scenario, let's say a famous person retweets you or something, or for whatever reason the algorithm picks you up, or you have a video or a short go viral or whatever, and suddenly you're experiencing some measure of success. It's entirely common, and all too common unfortunately, that other people will try to capitalize on your success and make money off your hard work. And that sucks, and it's not fair. And so how do we stop that from happening? And so one of the ways is we make sure that we have an account on all social media platforms that we can think of, basically, where we have the same profile picture, the same kind of banner image, and upload or share the same kind of content. And part of this is because you want to have that joined date, join Twitter on this day, the created Facebook page or group on this day, so that if you do happen to suddenly find success on YouTube or somewhere else, and people start looking for you on other platforms, then they can find the real you. And if there are imposters, then you've joined the platform before them. So if you get into some sort of a dispute as to who's the real Slim Shady here, you'll be able to point to, among other things, hey look, I've been here longer. It also gives you an opportunity to lock down on the usernames and as a result the URLs. So if you've got the username on Twitter first and you've got that full URL, or your Facebook group or your Facebook page has the URL, then if someone's going to create a copy of you, they might have to put 1 or X at the end or something else, and they're going to look less authentic as a result, and you may need to report a counterfeit channel or account for impersonation. And so having already been established on the platform, even if it's nothing more than creating the account, uploading a consistent profile image, and a banner, even if it's just that will help you protect your brand, because you don't want to find out that, yeah, okay, suddenly I've blown up, but now there's a fake version of me on Twitter trying to sell Bitcoin or some other thing, or scam people on like fake t-shirt sales and stealing credit card numbers in your name. That's hurting your brand, it's hurting your audience and your fans. You don't want any part of that happening. And so this is a way that you can cut down on that possibly occurring. And that might sound a little paranoid, and I wouldn't blame you if you thought that, but even here, Small YouTubers Boost, we've had that problem. We've had groups on Facebook and accounts on other social media platforms pretending to be us. And so we have, on occasion, had to get into the issue of reporting them for impersonation. They've been pretending to be me. They've copy and pasted entire things that I've written. In our Facebook group, we have something called guides, where I've written these text instructions about how to do certain things. And I've had people steal that wholesale and create a copycat group or other things, put it out on other platforms pretending to be me. Sharing my stuff with a link back to the original, that's fine. But pretending to be me, that's impersonation and that's not okay. It's against the terms of service of most social media platforms. So you have a strong ground here to file a complaint and take down notice whatever you feel is appropriate. But that's a big part of it. That's why to sign up. But I am by no means telling you that you have to do equal effort on all the different platforms you might be signed up on. I am not saying that. So yes, it's entirely appropriate to focus on a few. Now, spread yourself around, try a few different things, and see what works is my advice. And so if you see that you're getting traction on Twitter or Facebook or Reddit or wherever it might be, maybe you're blowing up on TikTok, whatever it is, see where the traffic is coming to your channel, assuming your channel is your primary focus. If you want to drive people at the end of that funnel into your channel, look at your traffic sources and see where it's coming from. It might not be the standard social media stuff. It could be an old legacy platform. It could be like Tumblr or Flickr or MySpace or something that people don't talk about as much anymore. It could be something that is still kind of growing. It could be TikTok, it could be LinkedIn, or it could be websites that you didn't even know existed. Maybe they have message boards. Message boards are still a thing out there and in certain sub-communities, very popular. And so that's something I found on my channel, Vacation Impossible, is that I was getting traffic from websites I had never heard of in some cases in other languages like French. And so I would sometimes go look at those websites and see if they have a message board, and then maybe see about sharing some of my content on those message boards directly. And it's great when other people share your stuff. That's part of what going viral is. Viral means other people are sharing it, person to person, like a virus. Not the greatest metaphor in the 2020s, but that's what it means. And so maybe that's already happening. And so understanding that is good. So see where your traffic is. Is it coming from Twitter or a message board or a website or whatever? If it's a website, you might be able to reach out to the people and say, hey, look, I could do an exclusive something with you if you'd like. Maybe there's a partnership opportunity there. Who knows? Maybe they want to sponsor you. These sorts of things are all possible, but I'm not saying you can do it all. Especially if you're a single person operation, that's a lot of work. It's a lot of pressure to put on yourself. And you got to think about how you're divvying up your time between content creation and promoting yourself. Because if you lean too far into promoting yourself and it's getting in the way of creating new videos, if you're making less than one video per week because you're spending so much time on social media promotion, then you've tipped the scales perhaps a little too far. And so that's where I say is a minimum if you can get one video out a week, and then whatever promotion you can do on top of that, that's kind of the Goldilocks zone of that balancing between creation and promotion. But also you can go too far as well. If you're banging out a video every single day but you're not sharing it anywhere and you're getting 3 views on all your videos, then you maybe aren't having good balance there either. You might have tipped too far in one direction. And so you might want to try a few different platforms and see how they work. Now, in my personal experience, it's Facebook, Reddit, and Twitter, where you really want to kind of explore. TubeBuddy has some fantastic tools to help you do that. We've got an affiliate link down below, and most of these tools I'm talking about are actually in the free version, so just go get the free version. And for example, in the browser plugin on desktop, you can see where things are being shared on Twitter and Reddit and how many likes you're getting on Facebook. And so these can be important metrics. If you have an older video and it has no likes on Facebook, maybe you never shared it on Facebook, and it might be appropriate to go find an appropriate place to share that on Facebook, and it could bring new life into your video. There could be an audience out there waiting for it. But check your traffic sources and see what's working for you. Maybe focus your efforts there. Some of the sharing on social media platforms is easy. To share to Twitter, it's just like 2 or 3 clicks when you publish a video, or even just from your video view page. And so you could go back and do it after the fact. That's super easy, and it can be a relatively low investment depending on how deep you want to get into it. You can research how it's being shared in other communities, how other creators are sharing their content, what hashtags they're using that still apply to you that you might want to consider or use a version of or something like that. You don't have to do that. You can just click that share button and you're building that history of tweets. And so some people like getting their information in different ways. Some people might not want to subscribe with notifications on YouTube because they know it's kind of broken. The God's honest truth here is you could subscribe with notifications set to all and still not get notified for every video. Now, some of that's up to the creator as to whether or not they send out that notification, but also even when you do, it doesn't always go through. A lot of big creators have talked about this. People like Roberto Blake, you can go check them out. They mention this sort of stuff all the time, and it's been my experience as well, both as a creator and as a subscriber. But maybe if a creator is consistently tweeting every single time that they have a new video out, that might kind of be more reliable. Or if there's like an email list you've got, then that's even better. That's a lot of work though. So Twitter's a little easier. And so if they're following your Twitter account and they have notifications every time you tweet, and you tweet every time you post a video, then you've kind of gotten around that YouTube problem with their broken notification system. That can be relatively low effort. I recommend you do that. That's not necessarily an area of focus. Focus means you're really like creating maybe original content, writing original tweets, replying to people, engaging in communities, things like that. You can do those things, but if it's not getting you traffic, it might not be the right place to spend your time and effort. There's other places where it takes a little bit more work. So in, for example, subreddits, you want to find a friendly subreddit where sharing is allowed and appropriate. You don't want to get in trouble. And in Facebook, you want to find maybe groups that are in your niche, not random ones, please, those don't work, but in your niche, understand the rules of the group and share it appropriately there. When you share something, for example, in Facebook, and people are commenting on the post, it's really good to go in there and react to the post with, thumbs up or smileys or hearts or whatever you think is appropriate, and reply to them because that boosts it in the Facebook algorithm. Whereas it's a little less of a factor on Reddit whether you reply to every comment. It's still a good idea, but its impact doesn't seem, in my experience, to be as great as on like Facebook. So Facebook can be a little bit more labor intensive, but the rewards can be pretty huge. Sharing things from a user standpoint on Facebook is generally pretty easy. If you share it in the right places, with the privacy pretty wide open on a page, for example, it's really easy for someone to click that share button versus maybe, going from Reddit and then sharing it from there. In my experience, it's a little less common, but check what's right for you. Everyone's going to be a little bit different. And so you're asking advice from somebody about what platforms to use. I say, create an account everywhere, try them all out a little bit, just put a little effort into each, check your traffic sources, see what's working for you, and then focus there and double down. But keep doing some of those easy things like retweeting. Like if you're getting traffic from TikTok, that can be quite labor intensive if you have to create a TikTok version of your YouTube video. You could have an 8-minute landscape video that you need to turn into now like a 1-minute portrait video, and that's extra work. If that's working for you, if you're getting an audience there, if you're growing there, if it's driving traffic to your channel, or maybe you get to the follower requirement where you can go live and that's working great for you, then you can do that. But if that effort is not yielding results, it's not a good use of your time. Focus your time where you're getting results. And don't listen to random people who say, oh yeah, no, Twitter, you gotta do Twitter. That's the absolute only thing, or Reddit, or whatever. That may have worked for them. It might have worked for all their friends. It might work in their genre, but that doesn't mean that it's gonna work for your genre, your niche, your channel, or your audience. We are all unique as creators, and so those things will be different for everyone. And so that's really useful. TubeBuddy can help. The Videolytics browser plugin function. You can look at successful videos in your niche, see what subreddits they were shared on, what hashtags they were shared with on Twitter, and you can kind of use that information to create your own strategy for a social media sort of self-promotion program. That is basically sort of my advice. Create accounts everywhere, see the traffic sources, double down on what works for you. If you found this video helpful at all, please give it a like. We'd appreciate it. It helps us do well in the algorithm ourselves. Also, let me know in the comments, where do you share your content? What's worked for you? Message boards, Twitter, TikTok, what's working well for you? I'd be very curious to know what different platforms are working for people. Maybe you're on something that's a little less known. I tried something called Vero for a while. That was a social media platform that you had to pay to join. I got a free thing during a promotional period. I tried that for like 2 years. It got me nothing, and so I have since abandoned that. Flickr, similarly. I shared pictures from my travels for my Vacation Impossible channel on Flickr, got me no traffic, so I instead focused my energy somewhere else. Let me know what your experience has been. I would be very happy to learn from your experience and see what your challenges are as well. So if you have questions about that, let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We've got some awesome videos here that can really make a difference in growing your channel. We show you how to get more views, how to get more subscribers, how to stay motivated, all sorts of stuff, how to make better thumbnails, useful tools that'll help you get there. Don't forget to subscribe, check that out, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.